Hello internet peoples. I've been on a nostalgia trip replaying DS Pokemon games, and upon reaching Black, I got to thinking, I really need more fire types. So I decided to get all of them. But for that, I need to figure out how many different Pokemon games I would need to trade from to complete the national dex for fire types in Pokemon Black. A little bit of admin, I will not be using outside equipment like Pokemon Box or Home, just the games and a second DS. I will also not be taking into account timed events. So let's go. There are 48 unique fire types in the Pokemon Black National Dex. One of those is only obtainable through an event, so sorry Victini, you'll be sitting this one out, leaving us with 47. 14 of the remainder are from the Unova Regional Dex, so we'll get those first. For our goal of getting all the fire types available in this game, our choice of starter is very difficult. But ultimately, I decided on the fire type Tepig, because it's a fire type, and we need fire types. Next we need Pansear, who would be given to us with no effort needed for choosing Oshawott before the first gym, but we didn't choose Oshawott, so instead we get Pansage. However, you can encounter Pansear in Pinwheel Forest near the second gym, specifically in the Shaking Grass. Shaking Grass gives a chance of rarer Pokemon, and Pansear spawns at a 20% encounter rate in it, so we can get it with some patience. Now we need to talk evolutions. Most Pokemon evolve by just leveling up through battles, like Tepig for example, whose leveling up by playing the game would tick off Pignite and Emboar along with it. Pansear, however, needs a Firestone, so we need to acquire one to get its evolution Simisear. Fortunately, a man on the first pier in Castelia City, home to the third gym, will give you a free water, fire, or leaf stone, so we can take the Firestone and evolve our Pansear into Simisear right here. Just after Castelia City, we can head up to Nimbasa City, but on the way we can turn left and take a pit stop in the Desert Resort. This area is home to fire type number 6, Darumaka, playing in the sand outside. We can quickly evolve it into Darmanitan through level up, getting half of our Unovan fire types off the board. After knocking off 3 families in quick succession, the fire types die down for a while, with no new encounters before entering Celestial Tower before facing Skyla. There you can catch a Litwick, which is adorable by the way. I love this little candle. It levels up into a Lampent, again adorable. But to become a Chandelure, it needs a Dusk Stone. The first one of which I could find is on Victory Road, right before the Elite Four at the end of the game. God damn you, Pokemon Black, I want my Chandelier Pokemon sooner. While at Victory Road, you can also add a Heatmor to our slightly less French Team Flair. Je m'appelle Baguette. Our last 3 are guaranteed encounters, ensuring our success. First on Route 18, which you can get to by surfing back behind your starting town, you can acquire an egg which hatches into Larvesta. While Larvesta can evolve into Volcarona, it takes until level 59 and yours will start at 1. So the easiest way to get Volcarona is to wait for the post-game, head back to the Desert Resort and head for the bottom of the ruins, where you'll find a static encounter of a level 70 Volcarona. Finally, for the Unova Dex, the box art legend Reshiram, who you can catch right after the Elite Four in story stuff. This would not work in Pokemon White, since in that game you catch Electric-type Zekrom instead of the glorious Fire-type Reshiram, which is why we do this with Black and not White. Now, boys, girls, and gentle Sea Warlocks, we're going national. Unova's post-game triggers extra encounters and opens up more areas where you can find Pokemon from previous generations. These allow us to knock off Rapidash in the grass on Route 12, which we can then breed with a Ditto found in the Giant Chasm to get Ponyta. Vulpix in the Abundant Shrine, who with the second Firestone can become a Ninetales, and Houndour, which has a chance to swarm Black only, temporarily appearing in Route 9, and can then be leveled up into Houndoom. Unfortunately, that's the last of the fire types we can get in this game, leaving 27 on the board. There are several options to trade into this game, but to maximize what we get out of it, we need to see which of the remaining fire types are the hardest to get. Immediately the starters and legendaries stand out. We need Charmander, Cyndaquil, Torchic, Chimchar, Entei, Moltres, Ho-Oh, and Heatran. Fortunately 6 of these can be gotten in one set of games, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. There is a tiebreaker in the version exclusives for each game, as Soul Silver has Vulpix as an exclusive, which we already have, but Heart Gold has Growlithe, making the choice obvious. In Heart Gold, you immediately are given a choice for Johto starters, picking Cyndaquil, obviously. Before the league, you can catch Ho-Oh as part of the game's main story, and could technically catch Entei too since it roams around Johto once you encounter the 3 legendary dogs in the Burned Tower. Good luck catching it though, roaming legendaries are a pain. Moltres is a static encounter in the post-game of Heart Gold, appearing in Mount Silver if you go up the left side, with the right side being crucial to the last two, since for them you need to beat the hardest challenge in the game, a boss battle with Red. To do this you need 16 gym badges, the most you can get in any game, and should probably beat the Elite Four twice since this Pokemon is stupidly strong. You then go up the right side of Mount Silver and battle Red. After winning the fight, you can claim your prize of a Johto starter, Charmander from Professor Oak, and a Hoenn starter, Torchic, from Steven. Also available in Heart Gold, we have the aforementioned Growlithe on Route 36, which we can evolve via Firestone to become Arcanine, saving our Firestones in Black for later and just breeding for Growlithe once it gets there. A somehow quite rare Slugma is found in Route 16, which we can evolve via level up once in Black. Numel can also be found in Ilex Forest once we get access to the Hoenn Sounds feature for the Pokétch, which can then be evolved into Camerupt by level up. Torkoal can be found in the Safari Zone, and you are given a gift Eevee in Goldenrod City that you can evolve into a Flareon with a Firestone, leaving only 7 Pokemon. Magmar's evolutionary line, Chimchar's evolutionary line, and Heatran. Magmar is an odd case thanks to the method we need to use to transport Pokemon from Heart Gold into Black. We can catch one in the Burned Tower, but evolving it is a different issue. Magmar evolves into Magmortar via trading while holding a Magmarizer, and you can't trade between Soul Silver and Black, with it instead using the Transfer Lab in Pokemon Black on Route 15 to move them across. This does not trigger Magmar's evolution. Therefore, we need a third game to evolve Magmar into Magmortar and tick off every fire type. For Chimchar and Heatran, we also need another game, Diamond or Pearl. For this one, it doesn't actually matter which version. We just need to pick Chimchar as our starter, and then after beating the game, head over to the post-game area at the top of the map. Over there is Stark Mountain, where you can encounter a static Heatran. Diamond and Pearl can connect to Heart Gold and trade normally, so we can trade Heatran and Chimchar into Heart Gold and evolve Magmar while we do so, giving us all the Pokemon we need between Heart Gold and Black. We go to Route 15, transfer the collection from Heart Gold over to Black, and boom. We've officially gotten every fire type in the Black National Dex, using only 3 games. Black, Heart Gold, and Diamond or Pearl. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, like the subscribe button and blah 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 blah. If you want to see more from me, I sometimes do gaming videos occasionally, so you better be convinced. Duskin out.